Now here I made this is another important thing about Lovecraft. People think that Lovecraft is, if we just put our heads down and ignore the trouble, he'll be, his legacy will be fine. Now, someone like, here's under Lovecraft, he agrees with me. We need to defend Lovecraft from these ignorant fools who want to destroy his legacy. He's not quite right. They're not ignorant fools. These people are hateful people who hate Lovecraft because he's a man whose writings appeal to men. And I agree with him. It may lead to Lovecraft works being banned. That's what I feel. Now, Blackavar Bunny, he doesn't agree. He says, no, it won't. And I said, they already got his face removed from his own trophy, which is true. And Blackavar said, that doesn't mean his works are going to be banned. Now Bunny here actually has a complete right to this opinion. But the reason why I made this video is that eye rolling emoji. Like him saying that what I'm saying is crazy. Sorry, Bunny, I'm going to have to respond to this. I'm going to show you an The Guardian article talking about getting his face removed from his own trophy, and a blog written by Joshi himself, S.G. Joshi, or the famous, the Lovecraft fan of all Lovecraft fans. So here in the Guardian article, they said the change was announced on Sunday. This is a while ago. It follows a year-long campaign held by author Daniel Jose Older, who launched a petition calling for the awards to end their trophies association with the avowed racist Lovecraft. So this guy, Older, Bunny, if you ever hear this, he put in a year-long effort to have this happen. You understand? So what makes you, Bunny, or anyone, Lovecraft fan, think that these people aren't just going to continue until he's gone? Right? Right. Now here's Joshi, and I'm going to start. This is the important part. I'll put it in the description box so you guys can read it, enjoy it. And he talks about the World Fantasy Award is purely literary award, is purely of literary excellence in the field of weird fiction. So it was created for the first World Fantasy Convention in 1975, held in Providence, Rhode Island, which is essentially a Lovecraft convention. Yes, and acknowledges Lovecraft's literary greatness, both intrinsically and in terms of his influence. That's all the award means, is he's discussing how it is. Now, we have no reason to be confident that the current agitators will stop at the WFA bust. Indeed, the prime mover in this matter, Daniel Jose Older, has made his general contempt for Lovecraft quite clear, as when he called him a terrible wordsmith. I suspect he would say such writers, same as Poe, Dunsany, Mackin, and any other writers who don't write this kind of slangy faux hipster style he favors. It's quite evident that some of these agitators really don't like Lovecraft as a writer and resent his fame and influence. Yes, that's what it is. It's resentment. But it's beyond that. I'm going to add what Joshi has not willingly been able to say, or maybe even not even aware of it. They're after Lovecraft because he fits criteria. He's a male artist who is not a woman worshiper, whose writing appeals mainly to a male audience. It does. And so basically that is the criteria which he can be targeted. These guys like Daniel Jose Older, they would go after other male writers. For example, Joshi mentions Dracula in one of these, right? But Dracula, of course, I think has more of a 50-50 between male and female audience. So they're not going to target him. Okay. Now, discarding WFA boss may be in itself insignificant. I disagree with that. But it is troubling for multiple reasons. It is, for example, an historical error, past combined judgments on figures in the past, because they perceived to have departed from moral, political, like I should stop reading this because Joshi again, right here, is talking reason, but he's avoiding why Lovecraft is being attacked. This has nothing to do with what the past. Suffragettes were racist, the originals. They didn't want black women to have the vote. So it doesn't matter about this, right? It's because Lovecraft is a man. That's it. The assumption seems to have taken hold that racism somehow defines the totality of Lovecraft's life, work, and thought. It's not actually, Joshi's wrong. This is not an assumption about racism. The racism is the wedge in which to get at Lovecraft because he is a man. Okay. Why is Lovecraft being singled out for excoriation? Because of his racism down here in 6, his views. If the agitators who lobbied against the WFA boss were really concerned about the elimination of racism in our society, they would go after other targets. And of course, this is what I said. He mentions Dracula. I said, yes, Joshi, the reason they do this is because the racism doesn't matter to them. It never mattered to them. When females are racist, they don't care. It's because Lovecraft is a man whose stories appeal to a male audience. That's it. Look at this one. No fair-minded reader could say that my discussion of Ellen Daltlow in any way constituted as vitriol. I was raising a legitimate query as to why she has turned against Lovecraft after profiting from his anthologies that could only have been assembled because Lovecraft's ascending reputation. Look, this gets to me right here. Ellen Daltlow is female. Of course, she's after him, which means that that guy, Daniel Older, I mean, he's probably a male feminist lackey, or the equivalent at least, even if they don't carry the names. That's why he went after her. She probably didn't like it. And this is standard. You know, Joshi, this shows his ignorance. Kathleen Kennedy was the same way. She profited from Star Wars and then shit all over the male fans and destroyed it in the process because she hates guys. And this is what Ellen Datlow is doing. She's profiting from the anthologies. Once she makes her money, she will go after, or she has gone after Lovecraft. None of this is strange in any way or any form. And so to go back to Bunny, this is why we have to worry about Lovecraft, because in order to defend Lovecraft, we have to defend ourselves as male human beings. The male human being is attacked on all fronts just because we are male. And Lovecraft is just a symptom of it. And for example, having his face taken off that bust, for Lovecraft fans to just sit there and take it without raising even a word, basically only Joshi's the only one who says anything, this is pathetic. And it just goes to show why these things are happening. Because if someone slaps you in the face when you're walking along the sidewalk and keeps going, and you just stand there and take it, well, next thing you know, it's a common occurrence. And that's what it is guys like Bunny just saying, well, I'm slapped in the face again today, but, you know, my skin just toughens up to the point I can just take it, you know. I don't want to go too far into this. I said everything I need to say about this. Lovecraft is in danger. There are forces working against him. You know that old Lovecraft expression? You know, you'll either go insane when you find out the truth, or you'll go back to the comfort of a dark age, of a new dark age. I refuse to do that because that's what Lovecraft fans are doing. They're running back into the comfort of a new dark age. They're putting their heads in the sand and saying everything will be all right just because. And I disagree. And so that is that.